The United Nations Security Council has unanimously agreed to send unarmed observers to monitor the ceasefire in Syria. It said that further steps would be considered if the Syrian government did not end the violence and comply with the resolution. But there's little sign of that tonight, as government forces again break the ceasefire, shelling the city of Homs. Here's Jane Dodge.
Ceasefire? What ceasefire? In Homs, the shelling and gunfire hasn't stopped all day. The man in this car has been shot in the shoulder. The activist who's filming him is in no doubt who's responsible. Where are you, Mr. Annan, he asks, a reference to Kofi Annan, the UN Arab League envoy in charge of the current peace plan. They're still shooting, he shouts, blaming the Syrian army. Someone had dared to put the washing out, but nothing else was anywhere near ordinary. The sound of gunfire clearly audible when we spoke to one activist in Homs today.
The reality is now so different, and I think you can hear now the sound of shelling or the sound of shooting. Until this moment, there is no change on the ground, and we feel so disappointed in Kofi Annan's plan. So we need an ethical stand by Security Council to stop this killing on Syria.
North of Homs in Aleppo, 4 people died when shots were fired during a funeral procession. Children were amongst the injured. Activists blamed the Syrian security forces. The state news agency blamed what it called armed terrorist groups. Despite the ceasefire seemingly close to collapse in places, Kofi Annan has continued his efforts today to get UN monitors into Syria as soon as possible.
Please raise their hand.
After negotiations, described by one British official as very tough, the Russians finally agreed to back a UN Security Council resolution. It authorised an advance team of 30 observers who it said must get free access, and demanded Syria withdraw its troops to their barracks.
Kofi Annan's plan makes clear that there needs to be the start of a political dialogue that leads to a political transition and the introduction of a democratic, plural political system in Syria. Frankly, it looks to us, the British government, most unlikely that that is going to be possible with President Assad still in office.
But that's not how the Russians see it.
I was surprised to hear what my UK colleague had to say about Kofi Annan's plan for his further steps. I think nobody should try to dictate to Mr. Annan what his proposals need to be.
So the Russians still flexing their muscles. As a close ally of Syria, they're keen to protect their own interests and influence in the region. The first UN monitors are expected to arrive in the country within the next 24 hours. Both the British and the Russians agreeing this peace plan offers a window of opportunity, be it a small one.
And for more in-depth coverage of events in Syria and full analysis of the UN vote, please go to our website at channel4.com/news.